The tarot is a picture book of enlightenment wisdom. It is designed as a deck of playing cards, and its title concealed its original purpose. The designers of tarot concealed its purpose because at that time the church persecuted everybody who pursued enlightenment. Many tarot card titles are blinds. Until 200 years ago, these blinds served a purpose. Today, those blinds have lost their purpose. Worse, some of those titles have violent connotations, which impedes meditation, like Emperor, which has the connotation of tyranny, or Hangman, which has the connotation of execution, or Chariot, which is a war machine. The vehicle in the picture of the Chariot card symbolizes our body-mind vehicle. The cube represents the cube of space, and as such the physical body. The sphinxes are the senses, which the driver controls with the mind, the invisible reins in his hand. My first idea was to replace chariot with vehicle, to get rid of the violent connotation. Vehicle is not a blind anymore, but still misleading. The tarot reader would need to explain the title to the querent before she can interpret it. A tarot title needs to be self-evident. Then I thought about renaming the title to Driver or Pilot to honor the central figure in the picture. But that would require even more explanation, since the central figure in the picture doesn't stand for the querent, but for the higher self. Next, I turned my attention to the Hebrew letter associated with this tarot card. It's the letter Chet, which means field or fence. The picture shows the various fields of our existence that we cultivate. Our body-mind vehicle and the fields that extend beyond us, like relationships, society and nature. But fields isn't a good title either. People don't think of their bodies and minds as fields of cultivation. For a while I considered the title Zones, which is a bit more general than field, but the title would still require explanation. Then I remembered the name of the respective intelligence, which is the intelligence of the house of influence. House felt a bit old-fashioned, but fields of influence struck me as a good title. This tarot card shows the influence we have over our body-mind vehicle. From there, our influence extends to relationships and society, that's the city in the background, and into nature, the grass and the trees in the picture. The querent should be able to grasp that intuitively. The title would make querents think of the various areas over which they have influence. And an inauspicious field of influence card would indicate that the querent's issue is the consequence of lack of influence. I almost settled on this title, but at the beginning of the Enlightenment Tarot project, I had challenged myself to come up with single word titles whenever possible. So I had another round. The improvement turned out simple. I reduced the title to Influence. The title Influence honors charioteer, the higher self. In truth, we, the ego, don't exert influence. The higher self exerts its influence through us. The ego is literally out of the picture, as shown in this tarot card. Further, an important attribution of this card is Receptivity-will. Receptivity-will also denotes the idea of the hidden influence of the higher self's intentions that flow through us. On a side note, hidden influence is the meaning of Metzla. Metzla is the influence of the limitless light that enters the tree of life at Kether and flows down through the paths and Sephiroth until it ends up in Malkuth. The canopy on the top of the vehicle in the picture symbolizes Metzla. Thank you for watching this episode of Enlightenment Tarot. I hope you discovered an inspiration or two. Please help to spread the light with a like and a share. And don't forget to subscribe. Love and light.